Last Sunday morning, I attended the very first match. It was the first time I say the experience of being a sideline mum at 9 a.m, the ungodly hour of 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and was cheering on as 6-year-olds play, you know, as they do. Not very well, but do. And a woman was beside me, and she had a 3-year-old child with her, and my husband and I looked around, and we thought the little girl was just gorgeous, and we looked, they're going, oh, she's lovely. And the mother said, oh, don't judge me, don't judge me. And then I looked thinking, what? And the little girl was watching Peppa Pig on a phone. So I said, there's no judgment, we've all been there, we've been that soldier. But what really struck me, and we ended up having this conversation, of that experience of being judged, that experience of the presumption of judgment, and we both then related experiences as new mothers, of people who can come up and comment if you're not breastfeeding, if you're the clothes your child are wearing, the things that people think they're entitled to say to other people, and put their own opinions, their own judgment out there without any consideration for the other person or respect for the autonomy of the other person. And that sense of entitlement to comment becomes an aggressive entitlement when you're standing outside a service that is that any woman is legally entitled to get in this state, in walking into a GP's practice or walking into a maternity hospital to access termination services. And how dare anybody decide they can go up into their faces and pray into their faces, shout rosaries at them, hold up obscene photographs to try and shock them and shame them. The generations that shamed women in this country are over. They're over. It ended. We voted. We made a democratic decision as a society to permit the termination and permit abortion. We did that. We had a very mature debate, and it took us a long time to get to the table and make that decision, but we did. Therefore, anyone that has the right to go and access that service legally has the right to walk up and do so without being coerced, without being told what they should choose with their bodies, what they should access, how they should think, by others who are choosing to do so from a place of their own morality and not about the ethics and the medical ethics and the entitlement that is here in our state. This idea of the right to protest is a Trojan horse for intimidation and coercion. That's all it is. It's using what is our civic right to protest. Do so outside the Dáil. Do so outside constituency offices. Do so outside political parties' headquarters. Do so in appropriate places and appropriate zones. But the appropriate zone is not the zone that a woman needs to go through to access a service where she is already vulnerable, where she is already in a position where she actually needs at that moment to be given the freedom to go, because they won't be there afterwards, after they've coerced and intimidated women to have to maybe go abroad because the service isn't available in rural Ireland, or to have to travel, or not to go at all. They won't be there to pick up the pieces. They never were. They still aren't. They're still not paying the bills to the state for the intimidation and the control of women over generations and generations in this state. They're still not coughing up the money there, and there's no sign of them coming forward over the mother and baby home. So how dare anybody decide on the right of bodily integrity for any woman in this state? We've passed that point. We are a mature nation who allow women to decide on their own bodily integrity and autonomy, and how dare we interfere with that right? So I completely congratulate Senator Gavin and the Sinn Féin group for bringing this forward, and for those who signed and supported it. It gives us the opportunity to have the debate, and it gives us the opportunity to air our positions and to bring it forward and to agitate for the legislation to be brought forward, and all of the considerations of whatever legislation is still there, how that needs to be enhanced, and all of that. I think that that's really, really important. You know, we've had enough of telling people what to do. At that point where they are crossing that threshold, they need to be left to their privacy, to their right to attend their doctor, as does everybody else who's attending that doctor. You know, I've seen the protests outside the National Maternity Hospital, and I've seen the protests outside the clinic in Goatstown. It's obscenity. That's what it is. It's coercion and obscenity, and it shouldn't happen, and shame on anyone who thinks that they have a right to intimidate up that close with such graphic props. The props of photographs, the white coffins. I have been one of those women that has crossed that threshold and gone in with my baby's heart not beating anymore and going in for a D&C to come out and to see white coffins. I don't think so. It's shameful, absolutely shameful. So I support the bill. I certainly support and know that the Minister will be bringing forward the legislation very, very quickly, and it is really important that we do so now. We really need to protect and support the women, and we also need to support the practitioners around the country who would wish to provide the service and currently feel unable to or disabled from doing so. It is not, that time is over, and it's time it ended. Thank you.